Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on the old show today. Well, second time, second show, we're already talking about recalls right off the bat. And the folks over at Porsche have been they've been kind of in the news over these fire situations. And in fact, if you watch the UK version of Top Gear, the original version of Top Gear, poor Richard Hammond, one of the hosts of the show, actually just purchased one of those automobiles, only had it for a handful of days before they took it away from him, and James May and Jeremy Clarkson have really been poking fun at him quite a bit, giving him racing gloves or driving gloves that were actually oven mitts and whatnot. Well, we're hearing some bad stuff coming to this situation. Apparently, Porsche's having a little bit more of an issue getting this rectified. I don't know if it's really a situation where they can't figure out where it's coming from or what exactly it is. And there's talk now that it's been officially a month since this vehicle's actually been taken out of the hands of its owners and the sales have officially stopped of the brand new GT3, that now there may be at least a couple of more months before this deal gets rectified. Now, there's some rumors floating about that it could be an electrical issue, maybe a software issue, which may be a little bit more easy to fix, or it could be somewhat of a mechanical issue, if you will, when it comes to this particular automobile. Pretty fancy piece of kit, though, too. And I'm going to put up a video up on the Facebook page if you'd like to check out that all-new four-wheel steering system the folks over at I think it was elephantracing.com actually put this video out. It's a pretty neat little video. Actually shows the actual actuation actually work for itself. It's pretty slick, but sad situation when it comes to these 911s. I think 4 or 5 of these things actually end up burning dang near to the ground. It's a pretty serious situation, but terrible situation for these folks that don't have their brand new 911s and won't see them for some time. Next up on the list, well, rumors continue to float around about the brand new Nissan GTR, the all-new GTR that's going to be coming out very, very soon. Now, a Japanese magazine was actually showing off some pictures of what they thought the new GTR, which has got the internet all abuzz, showing off that the vehicle is going to look a little bit, it won't look as much like this, but it'll look a little bit more like the GTR that we know now. But that being said, the performance numbers that they were actually reporting on in this magazine were pretty astounding. Apparently, the 3.8-liter twin-turbocharged V6 will remain in the automobile for the next generation, but has been tweaked up a little bit, making 580 brake horsepower. And also that hybrid system is going to be in effect, as it's actually going to have a KERS system, much like Formula One cars, the kinetic energy recovery system, and that particular system is supposedly going to put down another 250 brake horsepower, which makes a total over 800 brake horsepower for this machine. Already talking about 0 to 60 numbers somewhere around 2.7 seconds, which is pretty much what the old version is now. But the top speed, they're talking way over 200 miles an hour, over 211 miles an hour on the top speed of this particular machine. And it's supposed to be twice as good as the old car, if you will, maybe. We'll see about that. But it's always entertaining when it comes to this particular machine. The internet is quite abuzz over what's going on with this car. And last up on the list, a couple of interesting situations. We talked about the brand new Z28 Camaro from Corvette, or I should say from Chevrolet. Now, Chevrolet actually built this automobile as a track day monster, if you will, edition of what, maybe one step up from what the ZL1 was. Now, the folks over at General Motors have left no stone unturned, if you remember from one of our last episodes, that they actually had an issue with the car. Once it became airborne, the traction control would interfere with the landing of the automobile, so they had to make an algorithm set up to actually fix this particular program. Well, apparently they've had a couple of other issues that they've got some little bit of ingenuity going in on. The brand new Z28, if you don't know, has the big 7-liter V8 that came out of the outgoing Corvette Z06. And the thing's got a lot of grunt, a lot of lightweight. It's only got a couple of options on it. In fact, if you want to have 4 more speakers in your 1-speaker stereo system, also air conditioning is an option for this particular machine, as they tried to save a bunch of weight off of this car. Now let's get to some of the things that we're having issues with, one of them being the wheels and tire packages. as a lot of vehicles can actually have this particular situation, but because of the extremely sticky tires that are on the machine, along with the super stoppy brakes and the huge amount of power that this vehicle made, that apparently the tires were rotating on the rims themselves. Meaning if you were to lock up the brakes, you may see the wheels come to a full stop, but the tires would continue to rotate with the ground. Now, what actually ended up happening was when they actually checked this out, because it became a situation where the tires would become out of balance very, very easy in track day situations. Well, they made a little old racer's trick where they put a line on the wheel, or a little mark on the wheel and the tire, and found that actually the tire sometimes would rotate over 360 degrees all the way around the wheel during stopping or acceleration, which is a serious, serious issue. So what did they do about this particular deal? They ripped the wheels off the car, ripped the tires off of the wheels, and actually media blast the actual bead part of the wheel. And this supposedly solved the problem by giving a little bit of texture, a little bit something for the rubber to grip onto. Interesting little situation when it comes to that. Here's an even more interesting situation, at least in my mind. This was the first Z06 when it actually got shown off officially at the Detroit Motor Show. One of the things you notice about it is the emblem, the big bow tie emblem from Chevrolet. It's standard when it comes to every one of these automobiles. It gets a gold inlay with an outline of chrome. Well, now if you look at the actual production version of the Z28, you notice that the inner part is black now. Well, it's not black. What they've actually done to try to help a little bit more in cooling, one of the engineers came up with, why don't we just cut the gold part of the bow tie emblem out? So this is officially now called the flow tie from General Motors, which basically means that air can flow right through the center of the grill stack, give it a little bit better cooling, a little bit better downforce as far as the air that's being channeled underneath the hood of the vehicle. I just adore manufacturers who will go to the nth degree to really make a car super high performance. This is just stuff that you got folks thinking way out of the box to try to figure out ways around little problems. Very, very entertaining when it comes to this situation. Can't wait to hear more about the Z28. The more I hear about it, the more I'm impressed about it. Pretty neat piece of kit. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this week's Motor Cars Enthusiast. If you want to jump on over to the Facebook page, the link's down in the show notes. Also, if you want to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.